Note, and I was the production designer for the film Hijack.
Hello, my name is Mark Joseph, and I was the lead actor in Hijack.
I'm the writer, director, Hijack.
My pronouns are they, them, and I was the writer, director, actor, and producer of A Simple Ask.
Hi, my name is Juan, and I was the DP in Imposter. Yeah, this is the team.
Hello, my name is Devin Martinez, and I was the first AD on Imposter.
Hi, my name is Jessica Bernard, and I was Detective Jenna in Imposter.
My name is Morgan Clark, and I play Jack in Imposter.
How much of the team came out. And my name is Summer. I'm multiple things on Imposter, including the producer.
I'm Elise Samad, and I'm Derek in Imposter.
Hi, I'm Siddharth Amurjani, and I play his dad in Imposter, Isaac.
I'll start with you, Nadia. Yes, you already have the mic. Your film was absolutely great. I know you have a background in theater. What was that like, bringing the theater experience to the screen, from directing theater to now directing a short?
For sure. I think in the previous block there were also a couple of Chicago theater actors, and they talked a lot about like ensemble, and I think this film was really fun to work on because we all really worked together as an ensemble and rehearsing with folks that most of the folks who were in the film were also theater actors, and it was just really easy because everybody does a phenomenal job and they're all wonderful, really talented actors, and they just know what they're doing. So my job was actually made really easy.
That's awesome. And you had really great chemistry with your actors, specifically Omar. What was that like? What were the rehearsals like for that?
For sure. Omar Abbas Salem is a phenomenal playwright, actor, and we've worked together on a lot of different projects. And so our chemistry sort of has been there since the beginning, and they're a great person to rehearse with because they naturally know what I needed from them for the camera, and just as another actor, like they play really well with everyone who they work with. So it was, again, just really easy, and it was lovely to work with somebody who really knows what they're doing and like understands the craft in a way that they do.
Yeah, I mean, we felt your chemistry on screen, and also just like felt how close y'all were. Y'all were so comfortable with each other. It was so awesome to show on screen.
Thank you.
I'm going to switch over to Imposter over there. So much of the crew is here, which is incredible. BC film, which we should give a round of applause to that. Is the director not? The director, no. The director's not here.
Yeah, no, he's here.
The director, Rafa, is not here. He's actually from Mexico and lives there and couldn't make it out in time for the festival.
Oh, awesome. What was that like working with, does Rafa live in Vancouver? At all?
It's a bit of a story.
I mean, word.
The
I do want to make sure we
film-
honor the director who...
Yeah, the film, Rafa actually was a student in the screenwriting program at Vancouver Film School where I was teaching. And he took a class called Producing for Writers, where everyone wrote a script, but only a few were selected, and his was not selected, so he was very sad about that. He kept working on the script. I mentored him in that, as well as a lot of other instructors. And one day I just looked at him and said, let's make it.
Brilliant.
So most of the crew actually consisted of recent graduates from Vancouver Film School.
That's awesome.
And Rafa was directing, I think it was his second film that he directed.
Whoa.
Yeah, and we're all very sad that he can't be here today, but
Yes.
he plans to be here for the next one.
That's awesome. And we're here, let's give a round of applause for him, because he was not here. So give me a challenging thing that you had to bring to screen.
Well, if you ask me personally, it was teaching along with holding multiple positions on the film, like produced, and we had a lot of students in the writing department who were producing for the first time. So people in roles like Devin here was first assistant director, it was his first time doing that. So, and Rafa was a second time director, so I had to give him some directing coaching. So trying to balance like different things with a whole lot of students, because once the students found out we were making this, so many people volunteered to come and help us, and the team was huge. The easy parts were like Juan has experience as a DP, so camera, not a problem. The actors were all experienced, not a problem, but just having to do the training, for me, that was the hardest part, but in the shoot, I would say Morgan had the toughest time.
Yeah, I would say we had like an amazing makeup artist on set. Goes by Andy Lee Artistry on Instagram. You guys should follow him. He's so incredible. And we sat there doing the prosthetic makeup for about an hour and a half. And it's shown really quick, and then we have to take it all off again.
I know Andy personally, and Andy goes in, and Andy will deliver. So Andy ate.
Yeah, he did, and he's like the sweetest guy ever. But yeah, that was obviously really challenging. Also, just being in the headspace of like Jack in that moment. There was a lot going on, and definitely a lot of moving parts from a lot of people, and I think it came together really well.
Absolutely.
He's not telling you what the real difficulties were. The amount of screaming Morgan had to do, when he had to hold a knife to his face, this became a huge debate between the DP and the director and me, because we had this fake knife on set, and we had a real knife on set, and we had been using the fake knife, but they came to me and they're like, well, I think we're gonna have to use the real knife. I'm like, I'm leaving the room. I don't know about this. So there was a real knife involved that Morgan had to deal with, and a lot of takes and a lot of screaming, so poor guy was exhausted by the end.
Yeah, that sounds a little tiring, a little exhausting. That's wild. But brilliant film overall. That type of how did you build that model to show on screen?
It kind of started off as the simple basis of AI, that it's an input and output tool, and we were just kind of thinking of, well, what if this AI does so much input and output with emotions that starts to feel emotions.
Moving from one medium to another, like what do you learn from photography that you bring into your directing?
From photography, I think the biggest thing is like composition and framing. My director of photography and I basically had a lot of conversations on like how are we going to frame each shot. The camera was essentially a bona fide character in the film, where it's like, what is it going to do here? Is it going to move? It's very heavily like Christianity like themed, or like Catholic themed with like upside down crosses and nuns and demons and all that.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a Hindu family, and there's so much mythology there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of wanted to open the door to that and kind of explore.
Noir film kind of genre. Usually I'm in like a comedy genre. And when Summer told me about the audition, I was like, all right, let me just give it a try, see what happens. And when I got the role, I was super excited. And I gotta give credit to Rafa, Summer, and how they conducted the table read. So we were in the apartment, and we were doing the table read, and they were breaking down the emotional beat of each line, which I've never done before as an actor, which really helped me. The other thing was the moment I met my son, it was natural. It was like, oh, hey, it's natural. And it was it was really easy to work with Jessica. Chemistry was off, it was like on right away. It was like, so working with great actors, great chemistry, great team. Yeah.
It truly terrified us.
Oh yeah, Morgan.
Truly terrified us.
Would you guys like to add something?
Sure. I just want to say, I didn't go to film school, so projects like these are my film school. So it was also really cool working with students and teachers. And when I look for projects that I want to work on, I've always wanted to be a detective. So, I channeled Deb from Dexter, and I had my hands in my pocket, and that's kind of the vibe that I was going for. So I got to do it. So I'm very excited. That was my first detective role that I checked off my list, and it's great.
Awesome.
Great team.
One for the bucket list, truly. That's awesome. Is there any questions from the audience? Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask any of our incredible filmmakers?
Team at the time, which is also very, Crystal Chen, she's awesome, and Eva Tavares and Nate, they helped with producing. We kind of built the team from there. And the auditioning process also was a bit tricky because there isn't a lot of many South Asian actors who could meet the caliber, such as Mark Joseph.
And asked to be a part of them, and doing that troubleshooting is part of my learning. And
I got to do a lot of that troubleshooting on Hijack, especially because like the notes I was given was very overall look DIY AI tech, and I was in Winnipeg at the time when they brought me on this project as well. So I was trying to plan that from a distance and figuring out how do I work with little to no budget, and what does the script look like in the story that they want to tell, and how can I tell that story with what I have, and how can I tell that story and honor that story